Happy Good Friday, everyone. This is Kevin Cross, CPA, your conventional wisdom. And today is that April 10th, 2020, which that means it's the date when all self-employed people can file the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Plan. Now, there's been such a debacle. It's been a week. As a matter of fact, I only know of one person, it's not even a client of mine, who's received their PPP loan. There's been some rejects, there's been some, we need more 941s, we need you to refile the PPP form, there's been some ambiguity. However, today should be the day for the self-employed people. Now, this is one thing you want to make sure you do. If you are self-employed and you have some 1099s that you've been receiving and been paying out, the Paycheck Protection Plan needs to make sure that you have both of those documentation, so to speak, ready and available. So what does that look like? So last year you would have filed your 2019 tax return by April 15th, which is next week, but probably you didn't get a chance to file it. And you probably received a bunch of 1099s. And that would be easy to be able to upload those and say, hey, this is what I made as a gig worker. I made this. Even things like Uber and for Lyft, you would have a go online, you'd see that, download it, and you'd be able to upload those documentations in the PPP portal of the bank that you deal with. Now, many people have people that they're paying on a 1099. That's very important because that's the 1099s that you received shows that your income, your revenues, that you're going to put on your 1040, and you're going to go to page the Schedule C, and you're going to show that as income. Now, for the PPP, they want to make sure that you're being able to pay your people, and what I believe the spirit is that you're able to receive money now through the PPP because you're not receiving any more money. So there is there's some ambiguity because unlike a traditional business that had W-2s and were paying people through a 941, you're receiving 1099s because of work that you did, and you're paying out money that you call subcontractors, i.e. 1099s. So you give 1099s and you receive 1099s. Very, very confusing when you're there sitting at the computer going, wait a second, what? Do you want me to give you the 1099s I received or 1099s that I sent out? So we're going to isolate this PPP right now for the 1099s that we are sending out. So last year, say for example, in our hypothetical, you brought in $250,000 and you have some people helping you, so to speak, your workers. These workers, you paid them $100,000. They are not W-2s. These are not employees under the technical definition of what an employee is. Google that. They are, in fact, independent contractors. You have a W-9 that says Joe Smith. This is his social, maybe he's a LLC single member, and this is his federal tax ID number, and I sent him a 1099 for 2019. Now, first thing, gotta make sure you sent them a 1099. It's very important. That would be prima facie evidence. That would be like a 941 that last week our business clients would have uploaded. We need to make sure that we have 1099s. If you don't have the 1099s, you might say, oh, shoot. What am I going to do? Go online. QuickBooks does it. I use a service. It costs me $4.50 per 1099, and I send it out. They send it electronically filed. You might say, wait. We're past the due date. Yes, you are. You don't understand. I have 10 subcontractors that made more than $600, which is the threshold. 600 or more, you have to send them a 1099. Very important. Not only is that important for living and breathing and doing taxes, but it's also important for the PPP because if you're not paying them on a 1099, how are you going to prove it? So you might say I have 10 subcontractors that I paid over $600 to. It equals $100,000. Aren't I going to be penalized? Question number 2. will you get a penalty for filing these last year's 1099s late? Essentially, yes. However, I would think, and I haven't seen any yet, but I would think it would be a good case for an EA or a CPA or a tax attorney to take and figure out reasonable cause. Reasonable cause, I didn't file these 1099s because of COVID, might be reasonable cause. Now, a stickler at the service, hopefully they're not watching my video, but they might be, they're gonna say, wait a second. The 1099 was due on January 31st to the subcontractor. Didn't happen. On February 29th, because this is, I believe it was a leap year, it was due to the IRS. This 1096 needed to be filed with the 1099, and we needed to get it. So therefore, why didn't you file? $100 fine per. That could happen. You could be on this 10 subcontractors, you could get a penalty for $1,000 from the IRS. I would say there's a lot of reasonable cause out there that you could have those penalties abated. I think that's the least of your concerns, okay? So those of you thinking, wait a second, I don't want to open that can of worms, it's still the right thing to do, not only because it's the law, and you can't deduct off your taxes unless you file that 1099. If you didn't file a 1099, they're going to disallow it. So second, you need to do it because of the PPP. So very important to do that. Cross the bridge of the reasonable cause for filing late down the road and hire somebody like me or somebody that you know who has IRS controversy experience. You can go on the NAEA website, you go on the IRS, you can go on the CPA board's website and find somebody. But that's the least of your concerns. That's what you'll do to upload to the portal for the PPP. I know it's a long video. You're probably not going to watch more than 3 minutes and 51 seconds, but this is so important because today is the day for independent contractors to upload these documents for their PPP. Like the video, I'm going to do another one just for you to what to do with the money when you get it. It might be the most important video you watch this year. Thank you. I'm Kevin Cross with Conventional Wisdom.